Hi, Rome's decline will be the last screencast that we look at as part of our exploration of Rome as a classical civilization. Let's begin with the Western Empire and how it crumbled. First of all, the decline of Western Rome in particular took place over many years. And keep in mind, Rome had gotten so large it had been split into an Eastern and a Western Empire. So the Western part of the empire was the first part to crumble. But again, the decline took place over many years. Now, it was the result of worsening internal problems, so things like corruption, poverty, widening gap between the rich and the poor. Those were sort of the problems that have started to affect Rome. Also, the separation of the Western Empire from the wealthier eastern part contributed as well. So most of the wealth and power had moved towards the eastern part of the empire and what we would later be called Byzantine Empire. And the Western Empire, located in Rome and Italy, was the part that first collapsed. Now, also, there were outside invaders as well. So many non-Roman citizens, people from outside the Roman Empire, began to come into Rome. But again, this was over a long period of time. And so we have to be careful. Sometimes it's referred to as a barbarian invasion. And as this picture sort of indicates, these sort of barbarians came in and destroyed Rome overnight. But that's not what happened. It was actually a slow migration over many centuries of different peoples coming into the Roman Empire. Sometimes they migrated in, and sometimes they actually came in as invaders, but it's a long process over time. Here's a really good chart that comes right out of your text, and you can see that there are political, social, economic, and military factors for why Rome had collapsed. You should become familiar with many of these factors, and you can use your textbook. It's also located in your journal, and you can review it here on the screencast. But again, you need to understand that these were sort of the contributing factors, although they were not the immediate cause. The immediate cause was the invasion by Germanic tribes and by the Huns, people from outside the Roman Empire, that contributed to the final collapse of the Roman Empire. But the political, social, and economic and military problems were sort of long-lasting problems that lasted over a long period of time during this, what we would call this sort of collapse of Rome. Okay, so quick review. If you've gone over that chart, you know what some of the details are, but here are the immediate causes for Rome's collapse that you should record in your journal. Pressure from the Huns, also invasion by Germanic tribes and by the Huns themselves. Also the sack of Rome, basically that these Germanic tribes eventually made their way to the city of Rome and sacked it, destroyed it. And then conquest by other invaders. So these were the main reasons. So the immediate causes were really these pressures that were internal, but also the immediate causes were these outside influences that brought about the collapse of Rome. All right, so the picture below gives you a pretty good idea of sort of what before and after, but again, this is over a very long period of time. Okay, to illustrate how the time period relates to the invasion of the Roman Empire, we're going to use this map. And you can see that the invasion lasts from about 350 AD to 500. That's 150 years. So just watch the map as I go through it and you'll get a pretty good idea what's going on. Let's start off with the Bulgarians. And you can see that they're invading right from the Rhine River, right through what we would call central France into Gaul. All right? And then here's the Franks and the Almari, and they come across the northern part of France. Then there are the Huns, the most famous. And this group came from Central Asia, and you can see if you follow that red arrow, that they're coming in through what we would call Turkey, and then across the sort of northern part of Eastern Europe. They follow the Rhine River, and then they'll swing back down, and you'll see that they'll follow the southern side of the river as well. And if you notice the dates, you'll see that this happens over a long period of time. It doesn't happen very quickly overnight. Okay, so that happens between the year 433 and 452. That's a significant amount of time. Here's the Ostrogoths. They come in through a similar region. They cross the Rhine River. Okay, and then we're going to look over here at the Saxons, the Angles, and the Jutes. And they end up invading Britain. Okay, and they'll become the people that will be the founders of what we consider today being modern England. Again, Britain at that time had been Roman. And then here are the Vandals. The Vandals come in through Central Europe, what we might call Germany, go through Gaul, France, through Spain. They're going to cross over into North Africa. And as they follow along North Africa, they're eventually, from Carthage, going to spread towards the main islands of the Mediterranean, but also right into the Italian peninsula as well. Now these guys are interesting because their word Vandals, as they make it to Rome, they will sack Rome. They will destroy the city of Rome. And that's where the word vandalism comes from. So the Vandals went to Rome and they vandalized. So when we talk about people who do vandalism today, it's a reference back to the Vandals. Okay, here's the Visigoths. They're coming across the Danube. They go to Constantinople, which is part of the Eastern Empire, and then they'll make their way towards the west, and eventually go down through the Italian peninsula, go to the city of Rome, they'll head back south, and then they'll eventually head north again towards Gaul. Okay, and from Gaul they'll head towards Spain as well. And again, this was over a fairly long period of time as well. All right, so this is interesting. You pay attention to the dates on the map because the map will show you that these dates reference different time periods anywhere between 350 and 500. So it took over 150 years for this process to take place. Okay, so let me just show them all. And there's a pretty good shot of that map. And I'll give you a quick look at the detailed version of the map on the next slide. Okay, so here's a detailed version of that map, a little bit easier to read. But again, you're going to want to copy this map into your journal. Make sure that you use a color key to create different lines for the different groups of people that went through the different parts of the empire. And make sure you complete the key at the bottom of your journal as well. Again, the most important thing to remember here is that the invasion of Rome, right, these quote-unquote barbarian invasions, were really a migration that took place over a 150-year period. That's a long time period.